It's only me too.
Oh yeah, 0.6%. 60. I love Derek Carr. Oh, Kenneth Walker. You said that's 60%. Is it?
So currently we're at 18 over 30. What do we get for that decimally?
0.6%.
Careful. Is it 0.6 as a decimal? 0.6? All right, I need us to stop having more conversations, or I'm going to start over at the top of the page again.
6%.
So I've heard this said a couple of ways. I've heard people say 6%, 0.6%, 0.6. When this pops out of the, turn the music off. It's coming from over here. It was somebody's clearly a background noise to something. So when we type our 18 into 30, or 18 over 30 into the calculator, does it spit out exactly this?
Yeah.
Yes. Is this the percent, or is this the decimal? Decimal. How do I make it a percent? Move the decimal 2 places or multiply it by 100. So what percent of games is Chase currently winning? 60%.
There you go.
So, thank you. Now what we need to do is we need to figure out what Chase would need to do in order to wind up with a 75% win record.
Games to win.
Well, this is an interesting thought. We're not going to be able to just multiply by 0.75. Because if he starts winning and he wins games in a row, so let's say he wins 2 more games, how would we set up that fraction? If he wins 2 more games, he would have 20 wins out of how many games? 32 games. So if he wins 4 games, he'd be at 22 over 34. So what we want to know is how many games. So that would be our letter. We don't know. You can use G, you can use X, whatever it is. And we're going to set it up the same kind of way. 18 plus however many wins. I don't know. Maybe we do games.
Oh. I got the answer.
I'm sure you do. Over our 30 plus the same number of games, right? We want that to equal our decimal version of our percent. So what is 75% as a decimal? Mm-hmm. 0.75. So he's going to win some more games, and that's going to go into his wins. And they're playing some more games, so it goes into the total. So now that we've set this up, see if you can figure out how many more games he needs.
Oh, I already. Am I wrong?
How's he winning 0.75 games? How many more games does he need to win?
Oh, I did different. It's
You got the totals.
it's this.
Uh-huh.
See, I knew.
So if you pull out page 51, you can work ahead on it. I know.
Making me work,
I know,
really.
you're making me think. Oh my gosh, you're so mean. I feel so bad.
Well, let's be honest. It takes me like 5 seconds to do.
I know.
Well, you're not going to be No. Jail. That should be black.
Mike gets 90.
So what do we get for G, guys? Solve this. Figure out what G is. How many games does he need?
18 plus G.
Yeah. What are we gonna do? Because y'all are checking out on me. Y'all, we gotta. We have a test on Friday.
You do?
Yeah, we do. This Friday. It's been up there literally since we started this chapter. The date of it. I reminded you last Friday. What's up? Yeah. You're exactly right. I'm just duplicating something. Just.
It's alright. Don't you don't buy it?
More specific. Looking at this green one here, what will we do? We're trying to figure out what G is. When in doubt, think of these as having parentheses on them. We don't need to factor. We don't have any exponents. I've got a fraction. Fractions are gross and scary. How do I get rid of a fraction?
Square fraction.
Don't square it. Multiply by what? By the denominator. So my denominator is 30 plus G. If I multiply this side by it, that guy whole cancels out. And this side is 30 plus G. Ooh, way too big. All right. So what do we do next?
Multiple.
Distribute. I need to distribute this 0.75. What do we get when we take 0.75 times 30? 30. Oh, they're over here. Yeah, I've got calculators. All you gotta do is use your words, folks. Y'all.
It's 22.25.
It should not.
Oh, that's what I got for
0.75 times 30. All right, guys, we're not done yet.
Don't go to Ball City.
How about we do our math work first before we decide anything about colleges? Yes, 22.5.
Don't we subtract 18 so they added to G? Or
Yeah, we can absolutely subtract 18. Guys. Oh my gosh, yellow squirrely.
Do subtract the 22 point. No, subtract 18 plus G minus 0.75. Say.
I was going to say we subtract the 18. The 18's not attached to the G.
Oh.
First one I heard was minus the 18. That was the first thing I heard.
Minus 0.75.
4.5.
And we need to get our G's together too. So I'm also going to subtract my 0.75 G. I'm zooming in, fixing it. All right, so what we have left on the left side, I have 18 minus 18. Those guys cancel out. And we have G minus 0.75 G. How much G do I have left?
Those are G's crossed out.
The G's do not cross out because this is 1 G, and I'm taking away 0.75 G. So how much G do I have left?
0.25.
Okay, I have now heard the correct answer twice in the giant swarm of numbers that got shouted out. 0.25. That's I have 1 apple or 1 gallon, and I get rid of 0.75 gallons.
3/4 of a gallon.
Or 1 gallon and 3/4 of a gallon. So we have 0.25 G equals what?
8 plus 14.5.
4.5. I'm totally okay with you guys doing 2 steps in one like this. This is totally fine. If you got confused on how many things we did here, do it as 2 separate steps. That is also fine. What do I do here to figure out how many games we need?
That's what I can do.
Divide by 0.25. The thing that's being multiplied in front of the G. So how many games does Chase need to win in a row to have a 75% winning record? 18. Okay. So now we're gonna, you gotta pick another time to go at some point. Hang on. So now we're gonna do the same kind of thing, but we wanna know when he's gonna have a 90% record. Hello screen, do the thing. Why do you not like this one? Oh, I love it. It'll actually put my marks on there, but not the words. What are you talking about? Okay, so I want you to look at B, which is very similar. Hang on, my screen's being a jerk, so you're gonna have to give me a second. But instead of when he'd have a 75% win rate, I want to know when he has a 90% win rate. So it's the same process, different percent, 90% win rate. And you can start from the same place. You can start from the 18 and 30, or you can start from what we had at the end of part A. Either way is fine.
Hey, I'm done.
Oh, I
Yes.
my GPA is 2.
I can write you a pass. So go back.
Yeah, I'm
So I want you to find this out. We got 2 more questions after this, so don't sit here eating the whole time.
90 win mark. Okay. How much? E. What's the 18. Divided by 30. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. 0.75.
I was right now, yes.
What is your flanker game? They're right flanker.
Oh.
So I can't go back and
Not
have
for
it.
that, you multiply. Instead of this plus 90. So it's 90 times 30. 0.90 times
Yeah, you said that the exact same way. Okay.
Oh, stop.
Yes, dear. I'll be there in a second.
Now, come up and say, guess you got Look, 18 minus 30.
Because it's 90 more games.
27 minus 18.
So they've already played the 30 games if you want to stop. He would need 19 in a row to get up to this win rate. So this one is actually 18 more games. Okay, I see it. And then from here.
Sure.
Sure.
Yep. Yep. What's that?
I think we have the answer.
Awesome. What was the
G equals 9.
Oh,
It is?
yes, right, right.
I just took a guess. Just looking at
I was good. Not always working. That was a lucky thing right there. He made a blind guess and happened upon it.
It's going to be 90%. Because he did 90%.
But it's not.
No, you're just mine before you can. Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Is it alright?
Yeah. All right. I did. There were two answers that I needed to look at, and I could see them both from here.
Really? What did I get for D?
Huh?
What did I get for D?
77. I could see it.
What was my first answer?
I didn't look at that. I looked at the one you circled.
I circled both. Actually.
Okay, well, I only saw the one. All right.
It was a trick question.
So we can set this up exactly the same way. 18 plus some number of games, and our 30 plus some number of games. But this time, instead of it equaling 75%, I want it to be 90%. So what is my decimal going to be? 0.90. 90%. 0.9. So what do we do?
Multiply by 30.
Multiply by our denominator, whatever's on the bottom. This side and that side cancel out. My turn to talk.
And then, yeah.
So we have our 18 plus G left on this side. What do we get when we distribute on the right side? 27
Plus 0.92.
0.9 or 0.90 G.
After that, you
So giggles, what are we doing next?
subtract by 8.
We can subtract our 18 from both sides. What else are we going to do?
Subtract 0.9.
Mm-hmm. Because we want to get our G's together as well.
Yeah.
So minus 0.9 G minus 0.9 G. So how many G's do we have left on the left-hand side?
0.1.
0.1 G. And what do we have left on the right-hand side?
9.
9. 27 minus 18
Oh, 9.
gives us 9.
In my head, why didn't I add that?
I don't know, but that's why we write signs. Helps us from making those mistakes because that's not an uncommon mistake. So now what do we do? Divide by 0.1. Also known as multiplying by 10. Dividing by 1/10. So how many games in a row does he need to win? 90. So they've already played 30 games. In order for him to get that 90% win rate, he needs to win 90 in a row. No, it's not. He could win 90 in a row. Maybe his brother just broke his foot. And he's not playing against his brother. So who knows if that's actually evil.
90 games? Your brother has one.
Statistically, it's improbable.
It's possible.
But it is possible.
It's highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely, but it is possible. All right, so let's look at part C. So we don't have to calculate it on this one, just can it happen?
No,
Why not?
because he's not him.
He already lost his game.
And yeah, he's already lost.
He's already lost some games. He already lost how many?
18.
12.
Part B, he lost.
Yeah, he lost 12. He lost 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's only won 18 out of the 30 games. So he's already lost 12 games.
It doesn't matter where you're at, what equation you're using. He lost 12 in all.
He already lost 12 games.
So it's physically impossible.
Even if they played a million more games. I'm going to rewrite the word games because that looks a little crazy.
I used to think he could get it to 99%.
Yeah.
He'll get close to it.
He can get close to 100%,
Like
but since
99.99.
he's not perfect, because no one is,
That's a lot.
because no one is, he has no possible way of having a 100% win record. Because he's already lost some. So now what we're going to do, part D, is a little bit, it's similar, but not quite exactly the same. This is the last bit. So, we're saying he does beat. He gets it. He gets to that 90% win rate. Brother has broken his foot. Like, he was just stomping on him and not taking it. Not going easy on him. So, he did it. He got to that 90% win rate. Well, now brother's feeling better. And is getting his vengeance. And has a big losing streak now. His brother's taking vengeance. So we want to know,
He broke his leg this time.
from the 90%, so from B, how many games would he have to lose in a row? So, first things first, after part B, how many games have they played? They played 90 more games. So how many games have they played? 120. How did we get that? The 30 they started with plus the 90 from part B. So how many games has he won?
All in total?
Either way, whichever way you want to do it.
108.
Yeah. So we have either 108 here, and we got that from the 18 he had won originally plus the 90 he won in a row to get to that 90% winning streak. So he's currently at 108 over 120. Our equation this time is going to be a little bit different. I like the instinct, but does losing a game means he unwins something? Would it take anything away from his wins?
No, Dallas.
No. So it won't take away a G from the top. What is the only place that's going to make a difference? If they play one more game and he loses, so let's think about it this way. If they play one more game and he loses, what'll be on the top?
108.
And on the bottom?
121.
If he plays two more games and loses, what's on the top?
108.
What's on the bottom?
122.
So what is changing?
The bottom.
The bottom.
Yeah.
The top is not going to change since he's not winning. The top is the number of wins.
What's percent?
Wood.
So for this problem, to see how many in a row he needs to lose, how could we set that up? 108. The number of games he's won doesn't change. Losing something doesn't undo a win.
Over 120 plus G.
Over 120 plus however many games he loses. And we can use G again. That's totally fine. And what's that going to equal?
0.5.
Yes. 0.55.
Best game.
What do we do to deal with this?
Multiply both sides.
Multiply both sides by what?
120 plus G.
120 plus G, the thing in our denominator.
Your session is time. Your session is when it's time out before.
We're going to multiply both sides by that 120 plus G.
180 plus 66 plus 0.55.
So we have 108 equals, what do we get?
66.
66, because we're doing this distribution at the same time. 0.55 times 120 gives us 66 plus 0.55 G, because we did that distribution as well. Then what should we do?
Subtract by 66.
Yeah, subtract 66 on both sides. Do we need to move anything else? No. So what do we get?
42.
42. The meaning of life, the universe, and everything. Equals 0.55 G. Don't drop the G.
Yeah.
Then what?
All right.
Divide by 0.55. What do we get?
As Moses said,
0.36, 0.4, whatever. So, how do we round this in order for his winning record to be below 55%? Does he need to lose 76 games or 77 games?
76.
Test it out. See if he does 76 if it's down below 55%. If we take our 18 over 120 plus 76, do we get 55 or smaller?
4%.
Or is it too big? Try it out. Our 108 divided by 120 plus 76. See if that will give you a winning record below 55%. Let me grab my calculator. Oh, there it goes. Does that come over here? Okay. So we can build this in the calculator. I've got a fraction button, second column, third button down, my favorite button on this calculator. We have our 108, his number of wins. And we want to know if 120 plus that 76 is going to give us that rate of 55 or below. Yellow calculators will get you here. To get it to decimal, you put the 2 arrows. So is this below 55%? Or is this above 55%?
It's above. It's listed exactly.
Is it exactly there?
Yes.
Excuse me.
You can't move up or down without one.
This is 55.1%.
No, what's this 55?
That is above 55%.
0.1.
Yes, by 0.1%. But that's still above. So how should we round this? How many games does he need to lose in order for his record to be below?
75.
How's it going to be? Does he need to lose fewer games?
No, more.
He needs to lose more games.
Yeah.
So not 75,
I told y'all 77.
77. How's he going to lose 0.4 of a game?
Yeah.
I got flooded in, so they had to stop playing.
Because I 1% not end.
But you can't lose 0.4 of a game, just like I can't lose 0.3 of a game.
Just don't finish the game. It's a forfeit, so it's counted.
That doesn't count as a loss then.
It does because you're forfeiting.
That doesn't count as a loss. That counts as a forfeit. That counts as a different column altogether.
It's okay, no.
All right, bro.
Because we're talking about basketball here.
Oh yeah, if you are talking about basketball, then that is a loss.
Which one then it would count as a whole game's loss, which would put you at 77. Not
Because you left it for the
76.4.
whole game.
But I did say 77, so I was correct.
That's what I'm saying. When you're talking about 77.4, it won't.
Yeah, 77.
Okay?
Yes.
So they'll sometimes like us to take our analyses and expand on them. We good? I think we only actually have one more page of notes in this chapter. One more page of notes. Because our topic test is on Friday. That is this Friday. I will have the chapter review for you guys tomorrow. And then tomorrow we'll finish up the notes. And then Wednesday, Thursday will be review.